as she gazed into the eyes of her sugar daddy. He just don't know that he can get it. All he have to do is ask. 'Cause Joe Biden's my sugar daddy. And I'll do anything for daddy. Look at them eyes, man. Look how she look into the eyes of Joseph Biden, a.k.a. Biden the bigot. Jim Crow Joe. Why do you say that? I don't say that. His records say that. His record says that. His record says that. Big time. Oh, boy. We got a lot of things we're going to talk about. I got to get out of here. I have a meeting, but I thought it was very important for me to bring this subject up a little bit. What do Robert Bob TV Brown, the host of the Bobby Brown Show, Big Rob Reviews, where we review it all from hot dog to your grandma draws, the Rob Report, Winning with Love with Bobby. What does he have to say about this pick of Joe Biden? Well, I saw it coming. Oh, yeah, I saw it coming. I saw it coming way back in South Carolina when she was commanding a lot of the black votes and Joe Biden was he just knew he was going to win South Carolina. Well, he wasn't going to win South Carolina as long as Kamala Harris in the race, because Kamala Harris got to South Carolina early, parked her car there for a while, and started churning up the black vote, the old school black vote mostly. Not that many maybe some young women, but not that many young men. Maybe some young LGBTQ men and some LGBTQ women, because she is from San Francisco. That's where the movement really got its footing in. And she have been a little more lenient and fighting more toward that end in certain cases. Certain cases she wasn't. So here's where I am with that. She was really getting a significant amount of black votes in South Carolina, because black people tend to lean toward anything that's close to black, that seem like they have blacks back. We're not going to take time to look at the record to see if they really have our back. We're just going to assume they got our back. And we're going to go for that, because what else do we got? Trump. We ain't voting for Trump. So we just going to vote for anybody but Trump. I don't care if they're bad. As long as they're not bad as Trump, we got them. My problem is with that is I'm the type of person that even though you made your choice who you're going to vote with, I'm not going to let you go in there comfortable. I'm not going to let you go in there, because what you're voting is still going to put people in a position where they're going to be hurt. Not just as bad, but they're still going to be hurt. Either way, pathological liar, bigot, racist, rape allegations, Trump and Joe Biden. Bigot with your mouth, bigot with your policies. What's the difference? What's the difference? You can't hurt me with your mouth, but you can sure hurt me with some legislation that you pass to put me in a situation where I'm being oppressed and used. And that's what the crime bill did. And that crime bill is affected to this day. And that's why we're not going to get off at Roland Martin. And let me get into this, because like I said, I got a meeting at 6 o'clock. It's 4:34. So I think I'm going to have time to get there. Rob, what do you think about this Harris pick? Well, I knew he was going to pick Harris because here's the deal. Joe Biden, if he did not win South Carolina, he wasn't going to go any further than that. Bernie Sanders was mopping the floor, and they need to find some way to stop. So, of course, you got the heavyweight black caucus, black leadership in the Democratic Party, such as Barack Obama, such as James Clyburn, and you name it, even people here in New York. They realized that Kamala Harris was tanking in the numbers, And the only thing she had going for her was the black vote in South Carolina. But even that was starting to begin to dwindle, and none of them was going toward Joe Biden. And they were afraid that a lot of that black vote was going to go to Bernie Sanders. And if Kamala and Joe continue to South Carolina, the black vote will be split, allowing a pathway for Bernie Sanders to take South Carolina too. So they had to stop that. And even Barack Obama admitted with his own mouth that if it get to a certain level where I'm going to have to stop Bernie Sanders, I'll get personally involved. This is from his own mouth. And he did. Oh, yeah, he did. Kamala Harris got decimated by Tulsi Gabbard, and she called her out on her record, and Kamala Harris had no answer for her horrible record as, listen to me, Roland Martin, prosecutor, district attorney, and attorney general. Got nothing to do with her color, got nothing to do with her being a woman. Nothing at all. We want women of color holding high positions, but when you look at your record and find out that you're a horrible, I want to use the B word, and I'm not talking about B-I-T-C-H, I'm talking about A-S-T-A-R-D. When you're horrible and oppressing the community as a legislator, as a prosecutor, as a district attorney, we ain't going to talk about how you got the district attorney position. It was a position that she took to get the district attorney position. Yeah, I said it. Willie Brown will tell you. Oh, he'll tell you. Went for Willie Brown. She wouldn't have got the juice that she got. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to come up the ladder. Men do it. Why women can't do it? So my whole point is this, that her record, Roland Martin, is the reason why people are not feeling her. Not the fact that she pulled in her black card at convenience, and when she pulled a black card as a convenience. I mean, I could say this about Barack Obama. He never really pulled his white card. He always pulled a black card, but he used his black whiteness as a way to look down on black people in certain areas, and calling us pookie, pull your pants up, and calling us idiots and all that because we're protesting the streets against police brutality. I mean, just a whole bunch of things that he did, okay? But this ain't that case. She don't know what card. She pulled her card out at her convenience. Well, I pull out my 25% Jamaican black card to win the presidency. But when I was running for governor of California, when I was running for attorney general of California, I pull out my half Asian card, my mother's side of my card. And if I need to cater toward white people, I'll pull out my other half 25% side Scotch Irish, because her dad was not 100% Jamaican. He was interracial. He was biracial. He was half Scotch Irish. His dad was come from a lineage of slave ownership in Jamaica, and his mom was black Jamaican. Now, don't get me wrong, Kamala Harris' dad is one of the smartest economists on the face of this planet. Dude know his stuff. Same thing with her mom. Her mom was a very accomplished scientist. It's taking nothing away from her and her parents. We're talking about her using people to get votes. If she need to cater toward the Asian side, she'll lean on her Asian side. She need to cater toward the white side. She'll talk about her grandfather who was Scotch Irish. If she need to talk about her black side, she'll say, well, my parents were Jamaican. My dad, half of my whole family is Jamaican. Baby, that's not half of your whole family. Half of your family is Jamaican, and half of the other family is Scotch Irish, and then most of your family is Asian. Nothing wrong with that, but you got to call it like it is and be truthful. Just be like Tiger Woods and just say, hey, look, man, I got all kind of colors in my family. I claim them all. But don't pull out the black card at your convenience, because clearly right now, this whole point is a move on the black card, because we have to solidify that black vote, because the black vote get us out in the high numbers. Now, let's talk about this for a second. Now, clearly, she has been, from day one, been groomed to be the next Barack Obama. Somebody who can really keep black folks in line. somebody who can take up the mantle of black leader in the Democratic Party. Now, understand this. The only people that's really excited about this is black Democratic women, black Democratic LGBTQ men and women, feminists who missed out on the Hillary thing, and the rest of the Democrats. How many independents are excited about this? Put your comments below. How many progressives are excited about this? Because this clearly is the thumb in your, this is clearly a bird to you. Because we already got, these two people already said they're not going to fundamentally change things. We got one woman, this lady said, I'm not just going to do anything for black people now. But yeah, she'll push hard for legislation for Latinos, push hard for legislation for LGBTQ rights, just like Obama. But when it comes to black people, I'm not going to just do anything for black people now. That's what she said on the griot. I didn't say that, she said it. Wall Street love her because Wall Street loved Joe. Because Joe already let Wall Street know that, look, we're not going to be penalizing you. We're not going to Bernie Sanders you. No, we ain't going to do that. We're not going to come and raise your taxes. Matter of fact, we'll probably cut the taxes. Right now, I'll talk raising taxes on you. But when the deal is done and I get in office, I ain't doing all that. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Nothing's going to fundamentally change. The way you've been doing business is the way you're going to do business in the future. You keep robbing people in interest rate loans. You keep taking their homes for them over 1 or 2 months of rent being late instead of offering them a program to catch up. Whatever it takes, I got your back. I'm not going to fundamentally change a doggone thing. Look at how she's looking into the eyes of Joe Biden. That's something. And that ain't something, that is something. Oh, boy. So, here's the ticket. Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. Joe Biden needs some enthusiasm. I mean, the only reason he's leading against Trump sucks so freaking bad on coronavirus. I mean, don't get me wrong, he sucked on a whole lot of other levels. But this coronavirus and the way he handled it really brought him down to the point where Joe Biden, a man who don't even come out the house, sitting in his basement, began to take him in the polls. Now the numbers started to drop with Joe. That's why Joe had to bring a shock value to this race to get some, to give it some meaning, some kind of momentum, give it some kind of surge. So Kamala Harris is the cables hooking up from the Mustang to the Pinto. He is the Pinto. She is the Mustang. Joe Biden won't have no juice going forward. Kamala Harris is the only juice he got. Problem with Kamala Harris is she doesn't excite the base. Right now, the base is excited because they've been calling for a woman to lead this ticket, to be on the ticket. And fine, I get it. My concern was, I want you to have a woman, but make sure that woman come with some policies and make sure that woman is unapologetically aggressive about pushing those policies. Not some mamby-pamby, watered down here, 1 minute I'm with it, next minute that's what you got with Kamala Harris. And I know some of you folks going to get mad. Look, you can get mad. I'm going to tell you, I'm talking by her record. I talk about all these politicians based on their record. I'm not fooled by this black girl magic. She the people. Great stuff. But you got to have the right person. And there were plenty other women out there Joe Biden could pick, but he picked Harris. He picked one of he picked his alter ego. See, Joe Biden isn't the vicious politician he was back in the 90s. I mean, brutally vicious, brutally honest, brutally domineering politician he was. They're trying to shape her up to be what Joe was back in the 90s and the 2000s. They're trying to get her to be Joe. Now, they got a lot in common. Both of them are law and order. You think Trump was law and order, and he is. They are really law and order. Joe Biden came up with the most regressive, most depressive, most oppressive policy in hundreds of years. I call it the most racist policy since Jim Crow. And that's the crime bill. Oh, and mechanism in the crime bill that, look, we done up the, y'all want to talk about tough on crime. You think Democrats tough. Look, tell me, is this tough enough for you? We done took the penalty to be electrocuted or the death penalty. We done took it up from 20-something to 50-something reasons to electrocute you. Y'all seen the videos. I showed it. You can look it up. Everything I say, people, look it up. I'm not telling you anything. I don't have time to pull up the videos. You pull up the videos yourself. Joe Biden upped the level. Joe Biden upped the reasons to kill people in an electric chair or by gas or by lethal injection. Joe Biden did that. His speech on the Senate floor, I think it was 92. Look it up. He said, oh, you think Democrats not tough on crime? Oh, we going to show you who's tough on crime. In my bill, we upped the ability to give people the death penalty. Instead of 20-something, 30-something, we upped it to over 50 reasons we can give you the death penalty. Now, folks, I could see if you murder somebody, maybe you give somebody the death penalty. He gave 50 more reasons in the crime bill that not only Joe Biden signed, half of the Congressional Black Caucus at that time signed, and your progressive giants like Bernie Sanders signed it. You see, a lot of you people, you get mad at me and you wanna unsubscribe. That's fine. But I told you my motto of the Rot Report is the Rot Report is we expose punk politicians on the daily, number one. And the number two mission is when giving you the truth so it can make you free. See, the Bible never said the truth shall set you free. It said the truth will make you free. And it's a difference between setting and making. And I'm here to give you the truth. Now, you can always go to Open Secret and look at Joe's record. You can go look at Kamala Harris' record as from prosecutor all the way to VP pick. It's horrible toward the black community, and Joe Biden made it easier for her to enact his policies. I called her. That's why I said I'm not surprised that they're not together. I mean, they're a perfect match. They're a perfect match for one another. Why you say that, Rob? She is the disciple of Joe Biden's crime bill. She is his disciple to the T. See, Joe Biden's getting a little older in age. They're setting Kamala Harris to be the first woman of color president. Like I said, I love that. I love that if you got somebody with a record to back it up. I'm not going to, and I don't care about what you black leaders say in the black community, so-called black leaders. I call you black bootlicks. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care what black media has to say. Look, I got family members that love Kamala Harris and want her to be in this position. And I'm telling her, I would love for her to be in that position too if she made a 180-degree turn. Because Kamala Harris was one of the most brutal legislators in California. Brutal. She sided with protecting the cops over protecting the victims. Many people like me, single parents who had a disabled child, who oftentimes we have to leave work or our child can't go to school because of their ailment. She enacted a policy that if they don't show up for school up to 10% of the school year, which isn't that much, what, three days? Something like that. If your child don't show up, not only are we coming to put you and your child in jail, we're coming after you too. Now, to me, that's one of the worst policies Kamala Harris ever can implement because she had, number one, because she never been a mother. Now she's a mother. She never gave birth to her own children. She's a mother to her husband's children. As she liked to say, I'm not just Kamala, I'm Mamala. whatever the hell that means. And she knew majority of the people who were going to deal with that situation were black women, black parents. That's why I'm saying black women. I love you. I want a black woman to be president, but I'm not going through that Obama stuff where we get a black person in the office and they don't do nothing for us. I am intent on putting people in the office that's going to do something for you, not say they're going to do something for you. And 8 years go by and they ain't did nothing. I'm tired of being on this freaking treadmill. Me personally, I'm off the treadmill. Now, if you want to stay on the treadmill, that's you. I'm off. And don't try to get me to be back on that treadmill. I'm not getting on that treadmill. Too many of these politicians claiming they're going to work for the black community, and they work for everybody else but the black community. And to be specific, those who came from the descendants of slavery in America, not slavery in Jamaica, not slavery in Haiti, not slavery I'm talking about in America. She's perfect for Joe because she implemented his policies to the T. Now, you would think some racist white bigot mayor or some racist white bigot DA or whatever would do that. No, we got the woman who now pulling out a black card. When she, during that time, she was pulling out her Asian card. She would consider the Asian, the Indian American district attorney, the Indian American attorney general. It wasn't too much of the black or the black. Why? Because at that time there was already black DAs and there were already black attorney generals. So I need to get a first in here. So instead of me saying I can't say I'm the first black DA. I can't say I'm the first black attorney general. So since I'm actually half Indian, let me pull out my Indian card so we can say the first Indian DA, the first Indian. You get where I'm going with that? Now, she will be literally the first Indian, the first black, the first, well, I can't say Irish, but she'll be a whole lot of first thing in this vice presidency. And I'm going for that. But again, it's not the titles. It's not the breaking and making of history. Because you can make history and still don't do nothing for black people. Nothing. Not a policy. Not something overturned in the case of black people. Nothing. So, Rob, what do you think about Kamala Harris being Joe Biden VP pick? Well, like I said, I know it was going to happen because the deal was done. Drop out, endorse Joe, get your voters to go to Joe's side. Joe will landslide South Carolina. In return, because of that save, you get top shot at VP. Now, here's the ticket. Her momentum was going down. That was the best thing she could ever do for Joe Biden. She laid on the sword for Joe Biden. That's why I put this picture up, because that's what you call love, baby. She gave up her life for his. And in return, he raised her up from the dead. The black community, especially ADOS in general, saw her record and say, hell to the no. And her numbers went down. It wasn't just the fact that Tulsi Gabbard severed her head on a debate stage and left her looking clueless. But the fact is that certain segments of black society saw into her record. When your own daddy gonna call you out for a misinterpreted Jamaican culture, you know, she misinterpreted Jamaican culture when she was on the Breakfast Club, talking about, heck, you know, I'm for marijuana legislation because half of my family smoke marijuana. Man, that pissed her dad off, man. Her dad went after her for that. And I think that's one of the reasons why she have a problem with black men, because she never mentioned her dad. I believe her and her dad are or did I say that right? Opposite of one another. I mean, you have a father, a highly respected Stanford University intellectual economist in her dad, and then you got a highly respectful scientist in her mom. She come from good stock. far as education-wise. And then she's going to say something dumb like that, and made her dad had to come out and talk about her. Now, if her dad is talking about her and schooling her on, look, you don't ever do that. Don't you ever shame your culture like that, saying half of your family is Jamaican, so you understand that we need to be legalized. Folks, oh boy. I'm going to stay on this for a little bit. I got a little more time. Rolling bowling ball head Martin. Her being the top cop is not the reason why we're not feeling her. It's what she did at Top Cop. That's the reason why a lot of black men and a lot of black women that's real unapologetically black that looked in her record, they say, hell no. So you can scream till you can't scream no more. You can scream like somebody stepped on your foot, Roland Martin, or like somebody took your little Tonka Troy, because that's how you're crying on TV. You're sitting up there crying like a little bitch. Because we won't see it the way you see it. Well, we get it. Because all you think about, you black elitists, all you think about is money to HBCUs and all that, and that's fine. But HBCU, money to HBCU ain't going to help the person who have to sell their house because they got stage 3 cancer, and now they're going to go in debt trying to beat this thing. Putting money in HBCUs or giving you more of a media spotlight or possibly making you her press secretary if she become president ain't going to help people who can't afford to go to college. Because her idea of going to college is not no-cost education. It's still going to be a cost. With her, it's a cost for Medicaid, medical services. With her, it's a cost for education. With her, it's a cost for everything, just like Barack Obama. We got to keep the insurance people in power. We got to keep the loan companies in power. We got to continue to be the capitalist, the vulture capitalist that we are. Well, look here. Vulture capitalists is not a bad thing. We need people who want to make money. And we need to keep Wall Street happy. And we need to keep Main Street happy. Bruh, I don't care crap about Wall Street. The only reason Wall Street will keep being happy is when you make Main Street happy. And clearly the Wall Street elites love this Joe Biden Harris ticket because all they're going to do is prop them up. Who are the ones who... Folks, Obama slapped the mortgage industry, the financial industry on the hand. These people took homes from people who were struggling after that crash with George Bush. The market crashed after 9/11 and us going to war and fighting wars and all this kind of stuff. The market crashed. Folks trying to keep their home, folks trying to stay, folks trying to keep their loan payment on their college education. Folks are struggling, and here you are. You got the people who done put them in the mess that they're in. You're going to slap them on the wrist. You're going to give them jobs in the White House. Heck, you're going to give them jobs on your staff. And guess what Kamala did? During that same time, and you probably already know the story, during the home crisis, when people are losing their homes by the drove, one of the chief provocateurs of that taking advantage of the American people was Trump Secretary of Treasury, Steve Mnuchin. Steve Mnuchin, a big donor to Kamala Harris' campaign, as well as Donald Trump. So Trump, you can't say too much about her because obviously she was good enough for you to give money to her campaign. You idiot. Because that's going to be magnified. She prosecuted all these black people for some of the dumbest reasons, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3 in California. But Steve Mnuchin robbed people out of their homes and she didn't do nothing. Why? Because Steve Mnuchin was a big donor to her campaign. Now, Rob, you can't say that's the reason why she didn't prosecute. What are the reasons why she didn't prosecute her? It's guys running the Treasury Department on Team Trump. So, Roland Martin, these are the reasons why we're not feeling her. And ain't nothing you can do to get me. You can scare me with Trump all you want. I will not vote for Trump, not because you made Kamala Harris or cram her down the throat. And this is a whole deal. The black community canceled Kamala Harris back in the primaries. It's obvious. She wasn't going to go no further than South Carolina. That's why she needed to step down. She claimed I wasn't able to raise no money, which is true. She wasn't. People found out about her records, and she stopped raising money. Number two, she knew she wasn't, her advisors knew that if she didn't win South Carolina, she was toast. Heck, her own state didn't even vouch for her in this race. Her numbers in her own state, polling-wise, was crap. So the way I see it, number one, she had no choice but to drop down and endorse Joe, hoping that Joe put her on the top list for VP, and that's exactly what she did. She knew her numbers going forward was going to make her look like a horrible candidate, kind of like what it did Joe Biden in 2008 and 2000, I think 90, well, I ain't going that far back, when he ran the few times he ran, with his plagiarizing and him getting caught up in using other people's speech and him being brought up on lies and things like that. See, most black people don't understand this because they don't check people's record. And I'm here to not only bring you the record, but encourage you to go check for yourself. So when you do go in that voting booth, you vote knowing that what you voted for. So you have no excuse to say, well, I didn't know. Too late now. No, you could go ahead and vote, but I want you to know what you're voting for. I don't want you going there half-assed, blind as a bat, voting for somebody all because you hate Trump. You never vote out of fear. You vote in faith. I want you to have faith, but the only way I can show you to have faith in the person that you vote is tell you the truth. You got to find out the truth. Then you figure, well, I'll forgive him for this, I'll forgive him for that, and move forward. If you want to be a forgiving person, fine. But I don't want no excuses of you going in the voting booth and without knowing these things. How many white people did Kamala Harris truancy law affected? Especially those who have children of special needs. I know it's a lot of black people who had children of special needs, and I showed you one video earlier who was humiliated by that policy, that truancy policy, and she did everything right. She had the documentation, the paperwork, the school had the paperwork, everybody had the paperwork. While she was going to get her child, while she was going to get her freaking child, Kamala had the press out there to videotape and show how tough she is, that the cops came to the school and arrested that lady. All because her child has sickle cell anemia and she can't go to school every day like everybody else because she gets real sick and mommy have to stay home with her, which means she's not going to go to school. She had the news reporters go out to the location and recorded on the news the police department arresting her for violating her truancy policy. A woman who had everything set up just right. The school knew her condition, but she still took the liberty to have her arrested, to use her as a media tool to let you know, I'm coming for you. And this is funny. A woman who didn't have no kids at that time, doing this to a woman who have kids. Not knowing that in Oakland and San Francisco, gang violence was at an all-time high and recruiting people in the gang was at an all-time high. And a lot of kids didn't even go to school because they didn't want to have to deal with gangs. But instead of you finding that out and talking to the parents and giving them some leeway, you still go after the parents. And you, Roland Martin, you old butterbean, beanball bag, Miss Butterworth head, gonna get mad at me And other black men like me or black women, there's a lot of black women that's not feeling Kamala Harris because they know. They know. Not everybody. Stop thinking every black person's going to buy this image that you paint, Roland Martin. See, understand these black media elites. They get paid. They get donations from various companies. I don't know if that's going on with Roland Martin. But the role of a slave driver, the role of what you call the head butler or the head man or head statement of a plantation, his role, what you call a house Negro, is to do whatever he can to keep you on the plantation. So yeah, he'll cuss you out. Yeah, he'll scold you. He would even beat you if he could to keep you on that plantation. His job is to ridicule you and tell you how dumb, stupid, and ignorant you are for not doing it this way, the way of the master. That's your boy Roland Martin. And he's real good on it. That's why they put him on a panel. You notice when he's on a panel on MSNBC, NBC, he's the first one to talk. They let the black man talk. Let the black man dump on other black men for not supporting Kamala Harris. Let the black men dump on other black people for not supporting Kamala Harris. Let the black men call them sexist, racist, all kind of ist. Let the black man do that. That technique is old as the sun. They did it back on the plantation. Ridicule you to the point that you don't want to get off. It don't work that way. Matter of fact, it make me even more determined to go against you, bruh. Because number one, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Number two, bruh, worry about your own vote. Worry about your own vote. If you want to support Kamala Harris, go for it. But don't worry about the next man who don't. If the next person say, hell no, I ain't voting for Joe and I ain't voting for Trump. Don't go up there and beat him upside the head talking about, well, a no vote for Joe is a yes vote for Trump. That can go both ways, bruh. You can't use that. What you need to do is get your boy Joe and get your girl Kamala Harris to go out there and earn a vote, make some concessions for that vote, find out what the people need and give it to them to get out and vote. Now here's the ticket, people. They talking about all day on the news today. Black women are excited, women of color excited. Of course. Do you realize putting Kamala Harris on the ticket was, they threatened to not vote if she wasn't on the ticket? There are certain segments of black society, especially black women, say if she's not on the ticket, we ain't voting for you. Now, my question was, how come that is your reason to not vote? Why isn't the fact that, you need a black agenda, reparations, a black agenda? Why is that not more important? Why is Kamala, first black female in office, more important than true tangibles being manifested for your community? Because Kamala Harris is not going to get you true tangible. I don't care if she do become president, because she already done let you know. Now, I ain't going to do nothing for black people, just black people now. She already said it out of her own mouth. How come her being the black, a female black or interracial, whatever you want to call it, president, how come that's the only reason why? See, me, I don't mind having that. I don't mind having a Polynesian, black, whatever. I don't mind having that in office, long as they're going to fight for black people. And Kamala Harris clearly have said that she's not going to be for just for black people. She'll string you along with some policies to get you to think she's with you, but like Obama, as soon as you get him in office, ain't going to do nothing for you. Now, 99% and 95% of black women was going to vote Democrat anyway. That was not going anywhere because y'all done scared my sisters so, y'all done scared them to the point that, man, Joe ain't got to do nothing for us, but I'm still going to vote. No. That man sitting there thinking they ain't got to do nothing. We got y'all so freaked out over the orange men, and you should be freaked out. that you're not even looking at my record and realizing I'm just as bad as Orangeman. I'm just a little more prettier with it and a little more perpendicular with it and know how to cover it up. He can't. Oh, you're going to vote for me in the high 90s and 95s, whether I give you any kind of concessions or not. I'm not giving you nothing. You want a black agenda? Forget about it. I'll give you my agenda. Joe Biden's black agenda for America, but you look at the policies deep from bullet point to bullet point, it's a colored agenda. It's an all people's agenda. It's not a black agenda. Well, you're either going to take that or you're going to get Trump. And then you're in a position, well, I can't get Trump. That's horrible. So you're going to vote for this man, and this man letting you know he ain't going to do nothing for you. And his vice president let you know they ain't going to do nothing for you, and you're going to still vote for him. Fine. Like I say, that's fine. I just want you to know, don't be upset when they do get in office and they don't do nothing for you. Well, Trump ain't doing nothing for us either. At least we know that son of a gun ain't going to do nothing. And that should have been a rallying cry to put the pressure, and y'all still got time, on Joe Biden and on Kamala Harris to come up with a black agenda and start claiming, and you got to threaten to take your vote away from them. The threat is the power. The threat that don't you dare think because you put a black woman on the ticket that I'm going to vote for you and you not offering me nothing. You can put 10 black women on the ticket. You can put 10 black women. Hell, you can get a black crayon and make that your VP. You still not offering anything for my black community. Kamala Harris is not a tangible for black people. Kamala Harris is not reparations for black people. Kamala Harris is not the closing of the gap. You know, picked her once she become president, vice president, even president, that wealth gap is still going to be there. And she already let you know ahead of time. I ain't going to do nothing for black people. Now. Yet, it doesn't matter who's on the ticket. Black women going to go out there and vote in the biggest numbers. We're your most loyal, your most committed supporters. We've gotten you over the top on some of the closest race, and we even helped you blow out some races. Got you in office, but what have you done for us? Well, we gave you Obama. Bruh, don't go there. Don't go there. I don't need no token Negronism. I don't need that. You gave me Barack Obama is not a tangible. It did not close the wealth gap. It's not offering better education or higher education, no cost education, no cost. It's not doing none of that. He's not our tangible. Like I said, Barack Obama had a chance to really lead black people, but he just chose to take the title of black leader, and he didn't earn it. We gave it to him. And he did not lead when it come to us. He led when it come to everybody else, but did not lead coming when it came to us. And look, I get it. Trump ain't going to do a doggone thing for black people. I got that knowledge. But you have shown nothing saying that you're going to do anything for us. And we are the ones who put you over more than any race, more than any nationality, more than any creed or sexual orientation. Black people put you over the top. Over and over and over again. And you knew in this election, we said, nah, this time you going to give us something for it. And you had to do whatever you can to put it back on us. You picking Kamala, see, this is the deal. You picking Kamala Harris is you basically saying, I'm letting you know that I ain't got to give you nothing. Now I got her on the ticket. Let's see you try to deny that. Let's see where you go from there. Because if you start talking tangibles, then that makes you a sexist. Because now you're worrying about, now you know, you got a black woman on the ticket or 25 cent black, whatever you want to call it, on the ticket. You got to be a misogynist to deny her that position. We're trying to make history here. You tried to make history last time with Hillary Clinton. And because you didn't meet the demands of the people, you lost. A lot of people didn't vote. Now, while I'm on that, let's talk progressive. Progressives. Let me hurry up. I got 15 minutes and I'm out. Okay. Progressive. They thumbed in your face too. We don't care about your Green New Deal. We don't care about your no-cost education. We don't care about your no-cost health care. We don't care about canceling student debt. All we care about is removing Trump. That's our number priority. Key word. That's your priority. Well, that's all of America. That's not all America priority. It's some people who got bigger fish to fry than Trump. We've been dealing with bigots all our life, and we still put the pressure on them to make change from the outside, not the inside. The Democrats get the House and Senate. They got a reign on Trump. They got the noose around them, so to speak. And Trump will hang himself. Now look, I'm almost done. It didn't matter whether you got Kamala Harris on the ticket or not. You could have got Barney from the Barney Show, all in purple. He could have been the VP. And guess what? Because we bought into the fear of Trump, and black people, you need to stop fearing any man. Stop fearing Trump. Stop fearing any man and show your boldness. We've been dealing with these bigots all our lives. And they playing you like a fiddle, like a cello. They're playing you. They're pulling on your strings, your emotional string of Orange Man bad, that y'all actually think Joe Biden is good. And when you go back and look, and I'm encouraging you, when you go and look at Joe Biden's record, he is just as bad as Orange Man, just a little more sophisticated, a little more well-dressed, a little more mannered. How do you know, Robert? No. How do you need to know? Go look at his record. The record speaks volume. What you did yesterday would determine what you're going to do today, unless there have been a miracle working of God in a person. I want you guys knowing going forward what the real deal is. They're going to come after you, brothers, black brothers. Sisters going to come after you because you are bringing up Kamala Harris' horrible record towards you. Not toward Mexicans, not toward white people. Her horrible record towards you and your kids, and how putting you in jail left you without a wife who went around and cheated around with another dude because you were locked up for about 5 years. You come back, it's a mess. You get out of jail, it's a mess. Joe Biden introduced that 21st century slave platform and pushed it, and Bill Clinton signed it off into law. Hillary Clinton sat there and promoted it. Most of the Republicans was on board, and a lot of the Democrats was on board. It decimated the black community. It was one of the single pieces of legislation that broke up the household between man and wife. Single piece of legislation. Kamala Harris implemented to the fullness as DA Roland Martin, prosecutor, and attorney general. Like I said, it's not about the position she was in. It's about her position in that position. How did she look at the landscape when it came to being the top lawmaker in the country, in the state of California? What was her outlook? Well, you can tell by the evidence. Locking up black women if their child don't go to school. Most of them were children that couldn't go to school. Most of them was children that was afraid to go to school. Instead of having a summit and talking about this thing, lock them up. 1, 2, 3 strikes, lock them up. We need to cater toward these corporations who got these contracts with these private prisons. Okay, you need some money. You need some money for the rest of the week while you're in jail. Go out there and fight those forest fires out there. We're not going to give your family insurance money, but get out there, including black women, get out there and risk your lives to protect these rich white neighborhoods in the hills of California. Burn and die for about $1, probably $10 for fighting a forest fire. That was Kamala Harris. Side by side with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Folks, man, this is a bad ticket, man. I mean, people are excited. I mean, like I said, my black sisters are excited, and I'm excited for the fact that we have somebody on the ticket that's a woman and that's a woman of color. But my excitement can be emotional alone. Where I'm not excited is the person that they chose. You could have chose Nina Turner. There was a host of other, but heck, you could have came over to New York and tapped Tish James. Tish James at least has a record of fighting for people. Tish James is Attorney General right now. She's not locking up black people left and right. Could have tapped her. But he's going to pick one of the most horrible attorney generals to run that office, lead that office in a long time in California. Black now. Again, Roland Martin, it's not about her being a DA, her being a prosecutor, her being an attorney general. It's what she did while she was in those offices that are turning us off, and we're saying hell to the no. And you could cram her down the throat, because that's literally what the Democratic Party is doing. They're cramming her down the throat just like they tried to cram Hillary Clinton down the throat when they cheated Bernie Sanders, even though he probably was part of the cheating. They cheated the people that supported Bernie Sanders and wonder why Bernie Sanders supporters didn't support them in the general. Because you're trying to cram somebody down their throat and they're not buying it. And you ain't nothing you're going to do to make them buy it. And you're doing the same thing here in this position. Not only did you piss off progressives and they're not going to support Joe Biden, I don't care how much Bernie Sanders yelled, Joe Biden's our guy, Joe Biden's our guy, he's better than Trump, Joe Biden's our guy, Trump is a pathological lying bigot, blah, blah, blah. So is Joe. Joe got that rehabilitation from Barack Obama, the best thing that ever happened. See, Barack Obama could not win that presidency without a white male that was willing to, that had his hands in the grassroots, that could get those battleground states, that could get the Rust Belt. He knew Hillary Clinton wasn't going to do that with him as VP. Only Joe. Smart. Rehabilitated Joe to the point that black people think Joe is a cool guy. Now, with the shades on, eating the ice cream, the whole 9 yards, hanging out with Barack Obama in the Corvette. Cool stuff. Bruh, I'm not looking at that TV stuff. I can give a damn about, I'm sorry, Lord. I could care less about your TV image. I care about your record. Now look at your record. And you're one of the most brutal, diabolical bigots on this earth right now, other than maybe Trump. And folks, there's brutal, diabolical bigots in both parties. It's just that some know how to cover them. They know how to cover up. They know how to, and they hide behind blackness. Oh, that's one of the best strategies of white supremacists. Let's hide behind the black guy. Let's get the black guy to validate me so the people can buy into me so I can get at them later. What do I think about this ticket? I see it as Hillary Clinton 2.0 on actually speaking. Pissed off not just the progressive base again, and understand most of the progressives are not in the party. The only people you made happy in the party are the women in the party of all colors, and that's that. That's that. In the leadership. Now, I know some of you YouTubers over here are going to disagree with me, but I see as the only people that you made excited were the people who were going to vote anyway. The women in the Democratic Party, maybe some men. But the progressives, most who are not in the party, they not going to vote for you. I'm sorry. And ain't nothing you're going to do to get them to vote. I mean, you could offer some concessions that will excite them to go vote for you, and that's my advice to you. If you want to secure that outside vote of independents, because a lot of them went to Trump the last time because you didn't offer nothing to keep them in the camp. Hillary Clinton did the same thing that Joe Biden did. We're not going to fundamentally change anything. We're not going to offer anything for you to come out and vote for us. Our offer is we're better than Trump. That didn't work in 2016, and just because Trump messed up so much and so bad, don't assume that it's going to happen in 2020. Don't go by that playbook. You want to keep these people on your side? You want to get these people out to vote for you? You better right now stop focusing on who you pick for VP and get back to the playbook of offering concessions in order to get a vote. Because if you lose this election, you can't blame Bernie Sanders because he did everything else but paint himself blue looking like a Smurf to prove that he's a Democrat. So you can't blame him. And you can't blame his supporters because he ain't Jesus. He don't tell nobody what to do. These people are supporting you based on what you're going to do for them. Problem with us black people, and I learned the hard lesson, is I've been voting Democratic all my life. And the Democratic Party ain't done nothing. Well, what you going to do, vote Republican? Hell no. Republicans ain't never did nothing for black people either. I'm of the mindset of Martin Luther King, not mindset of Martin Luther King. I am on the mindset of Martin Luther King. I learned from my elders, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Stokely Carmichael, Rap Brown, you name it. Malcolm X. The only way to get real change is for you to detach yourself from these parties, come together as an outside voting bloc, and beat them down with pressure. But too many of us thinking we could change on the inside. What usually happens when you go on the inside, you don't change, they change you. And just because we got a black woman, Asian woman, Scotch-Irish woman, all that, just because we got that in office, don't mean change for black people has come. Barack Obama said, change that you can believe in. Boy, we started playing that song. It's been a long, long time coming. Change will come. Boy, we were so happy that day. 8 years later, nothing progressed for black power, black achievement. Nothing. Maybe in Hollywood, And yeah, we got a lot of blacks running for office. Yeah. But we're talking about real true things that affect everyday people, not from the few selected. Cops still beating us upside the head without penalty, thanks to Joe Biden's crime bill. That was in the Joe Biden's crime bill. Cops looking like they straight off deployment in Baghdad. That was because of Joe Biden's crime bill, the military empowerment, the funding being taken from this program, putting into that program. That comes from Joe Biden's crime bill. It's so much stuff that comes from Joe Biden's crime bill. The free labor or next to free labor, all black, mainly black people in prison, the new 21st century slavery for the prison to profit industry, private prisons, that comes from Joe Biden's policy. And here we got the author and developer and the creator and the chief of the crime bill as our Democratic nominee and his chief disciple as his VP, and you think black change is going to come. Yeah, black change is going to come. Yep, sure is. And Biden said it himself. They're going to put y'all back in chains. And it may not be physical change, but a whole lot of other ways. Police still going to be cracking your head. They still going to keep funding the military. Both of them are for not defunding police department. Both of them. You ain't going to get the money, wealth gap. They don't want to give you what it takes to close the wealth gap. They don't. I could go on and on, but it's 5:28. I got to get out of here. I got a meeting at 6. It's not too far from here. But I may be back on tonight. I just had to get off my chest because a lot of people ask me, what do you think? I think it's Hillary Clinton 2.0. I mean, Trump is horrible. In my book, and I know you Trumpettes that watch the show, dude's not a good president. He should have stayed in his lane. Marketer, brander. Hotels, golf casinos, whatever. Stay in your lane, bro. Presidency isn't all that. But then again, most people can't be president. We got too many people that have been president didn't know how to be a president. They just winged it along. And Joe Biden been waiting for this position all his life. And I can say this, Joe Biden has gotten more done as a legislator than Trump has ever did in his whole 4 year in the presidency. More. Problem is, it's haven't been good. A majority of it was bad. And a lot of it hurt the black community. Now, do that mean Trump gonna do better for the black community? Hell no. See, I don't know why y'all people keep thinking, well, no, both of them are horrible. Well, you gotta pick one or two. Who told you that lie? I ain't got to. I learned from Malcolm X. I'm only voting for people who actually support my community and got a record of doing it. Look at Joe Biden's record and see where he supported his community. Well, I extended the voting right. You had to. If you didn't, you were going to be out of office. I don't want nobody trying to do something for me because they're scared they're going to lose their seat. I want somebody who have a record because they knew it was the right thing to do. It was a moral thing to do. And I'm to this very day saying, if you want to get the black vote, if you want to secure the black vote, stop thinking identity politics is going to do it. Stop thinking that putting a black woman as VP is going to secure you the black vote. Stop taking the black vote advantage. Yeah, we vote for you in the high 90s. We've always been your most loyal supporters. But the problem is black people are waking up to the fact that you ain't been loyal to us. And it's time for you to do it. Well, why now? Why now? Well, when we going to do it? Well, we'll wait next year. We got to get Trump out of office. This is the best time to do it. Because if Trump get in office, it's not me. It's you because you failed to come off that copper. It's because you failed to get off that trash can. You done canned all the money and sat on the trash can so nobody can get it. Get up off it. It's our money anyway. You're giving it to the military. You're giving it to everybody but us. We sitting up here, Trump going to sign a freaking executive order to give us $300 of our money. Heck, $600. You should have gave us more than that. That's our money, not yours. But Democrats and Republicans will come together to make sure that military budget get taken care of, won't you? Science get taken care of. You gave all that money to try to get a vaccine, but you wouldn't give it to the people. And you really, there's other methods that's out there that can help people deal with COVID other than a vaccine. Right now, early. So enough of this, man. Enough of this. I'm warning you. Listen up, Roland Butterbean, Butterball Morton. I'm warning you. I'm warning all of you. And I got family members. Boy, they on this black girl magic thing. I get it. But I warn you. Most of America don't believe in magic. We want black girl reality, not black girl magic. We want a black woman in office or as his VP that's really understand the reality that black America is dealing with. And the person we got right now don't understand that reality because she grew up most of her life as an East Asian woman. Raised in the Indian household, under Indian rule, never raised under black rule, and never been through black aggression, and never really experienced it until she became prosecutor. Or, well, I can give her, even at Howard University, you ain't experiencing that since staying in a freaking college. Get on the streets of Oakland before you become prosecutor. Well, she did. She saw it. But remember where her roots is. Remember what card she played up to the point she decided to run for office. East Asian. Nothing wrong with that. Be who you are, not who you conveniently need to be. See, one thing I like about Tiger Woods never really claimed the mantle of black. Tiger Woods said, I'm all kind of colors, man. You name it, I'm it. He didn't pull a black card. Now, look, Tiger Woods, greatest golf clubber in the world, but he can't never be a politician. Needs to stay out of politics. But guys, I'm done. You asked me what I think. I think it's Hillary Clinton 2.0, trying to cram a candidate down my throat, whether it's the president or vice president is not a good deal. It's going to turn people off. What you did was pissed off Trump voters. They're going to be more tighter than ever, and they're going to get out to vote more than ever. Now, what you got to do is triple that. How do you triple that? The people who you're alienating right now, the independents, black male, ADOS, the American Descendants of Slave, you name it, you're alienating them. You're trying to cram something down their throat that they don't want. And you think by doing that, you're going to be able to get some people from the outside to join your team. You can never win an election. You can never win an election with just your base alone. Let me repeat that. You cannot ever win a election with just catering to your base. I don't care how excited your base is and how excited they are when they get out and vote. It was never enough. You got to get outside your base and win the heart and mind of people who are not part of you. You got to get out there and get the independents. You got to go out there and get the non-voter. You got to encourage people to vote for the first time. And the ticket we got right now on both sides is not enough to get people to vote for the first time. Some of you people think, oh, we're going to scare people to get people to vote the first time. Oh, Trump, ugly orange boogeyman. Ugly orange boogeyman, look at him. Woo, he going to get you. That ain't going to get grown people to go out and vote. I'm telling you, get past this identity politics. Get past this black girl magic stuff. Get past this. That ain't going to win you the election. Black women was going to vote in the high 90s anyway. Black men was going to vote in the high 90s anyway. But things are changing now. Because people saying, look, this ain't what I want for my vote. This ain't my tangibles. This ain't my this is not my tangibles. Let me be more proper. This is not tangibles. This is not reparations. This is not making her part of your ticket don't close the wealth gap. Making her part of your ticket to pro-police officers who's not for defunding the police is not going to take the money and take away the privileges of police cracking our head without impunity. Putting her in a position does nothing for us. Yeah, it makes us feel good. Because look, I ain't going to front. When Barack Obama, I worked on the campaign for Barack Obama. I slayed, man. Out there in the hot sun of North Carolina, man, dealing with snakes and all that kind of stuff and falling in ditches, putting those road signs up. That was me, baby. When you saw it, that was me. At the end of the day, he was just like any other person. Only difference was his pigmentation. And sure, we had Black Kamala. Beautiful couple. Yes. Well, what about your personal Kamala? How did that help you? Put it in the comments. How did Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, Black Kamala, beautiful thing. How did that help you individually as a person who got to take care of your family and in your pursuit of happiness? What policies did they implement to help benefit your community? Same thing I asked for you Trump people. You Trump people, what Trump done for you to help you and your community? Now, I'm not talking about this trade war with China and all that kind of bull crap. I'm talking about personal, help you personally. What policy? Well, I got Obamacare. Man, you realize, just get out of here with that Obamacare stuff. There's a lot of people who, even with Obamacare, couldn't get Obamacare, and they still had to pay out of their pocket more money than they could even imagine. A lot of people still uninsured. A lot of people still getting sick and dying because they couldn't get the care they wanted. Now, it was better than what we had before, but it was not enough. But Trumpettes, tell me what Trump did for you personally in policy to help you and your family go to the next level. See, that's what this is all about. What are they doing for your community? What they promised to do for your community? What have you told them you needed? And what did they do to say they're going to assure you that you're going to get it from them? That's what this is all about. And that is what voting is all about, Roland Martin. So forget about the experience and the positions and all that. The bottom line is, What you going to do for me? What are you going to do to get my vote? Because right now, I'm telling you right now, just because you put a black woman on the ticket, she could be jet black, blue black, midnight blue black on the ticket. That don't excite me. Make me feel good emotionally. You know, because we got blackness where we didn't have blackness before. Emotionally, it looks good and it feels good. I'm telling you, emotionally, that's what people ride on right now. But when you come down to what will it do for you and your family, tangibly, it's out the water. So I am going to reassure anybody out there, this vote right here is valuable. It is a hot commodity. He who can give me a true black first agenda can entertain my vote. He who can talk about closing that wealth gap with reparations and exclusively a certain amount in a check, I'm open to you getting my vote. He who comes to us, listen to us, spend quality time with us, and take what we told you we wanted and implement it in your campaign, you earn a star to get my vote. I got a 5-star voting system. You check off each one of them, you can get my vote. You check off 4? No. You check off 3? No. I'm uncompromising this situation. It's time for black people to get somebody in there that's really going to fight for them and not that's just going to say. And the proof is in the record. Now I got to get out of here. I'm Robert Brown, man, with the Rob Report. I'm not done with this. We're going to talk more. I don't have time to see who's on comments and nothing like that. I apologize. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell to make sure you know when a video is dropped, what day it is. If you want to contribute, you contribute at the PayPal.me/Capital Bob TV NYC if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. Look, I'm out of here. You think this is time to play games? Because clearly, they playing these games again. They playing the same games they played in 2016 and wonder why the orange man beat them. You can't replay this playbook. Well, let's get a person, let's cater, let's get a person, like last time it was first woman president. That didn't work. So let's put in first black woman, Asian woman, VP. Bruh, if that didn't work with president, what make you think it's going to work with VP? Sure, my sisters are excited, but at the end of the day, they're going to be forced to look at the record. And people like me is going to force them to look at the record and then get them to make their decision more wisely. See, this is one thing about me, and I'm done. People say, Rob, man, I don't see a bunch of women come in your house. Can't do that, bruh. You want to know why? Because it's my house. And if I had a bunch of women coming to my house, when I piss a bunch of those women off, guess who's coming to my house? A bunch of women want to start a bunch of fights with me. So no, you got to be, I have to deem you worthy to come to my house. Come to the place that I live. And right now, there's only maybe 3 women that I will allow to grace the place that I live. Because I know I ain't got to worry about them. But there's, I'm a single guy. There's a lot of women out here that I talk to and, occasionally go on a date. They ain't ever coming here. Ever. Ever. Been through that before. No, you're going to court me. And you're going to have to be deemed worthy to get in a relationship with me, a long-term relationship. Other than that, I'm cool. And that's the way I feel about politics. You're going to have to court for this vote. Look, I done been through the ringer in a relationship. I ain't going through that. You got to deem yourself worthy to take me through the ringer. Look, people get taken through the ringer all the time. Believe me, I'm only going to be taken to the ringer by somebody who's worthy of going through the ringer. If I don't think you're worthy of going through the ringer, I am not letting you take me through hell. No. Either you're going to blow up your baggage, burn them up, or leave them at the door. You're not bringing your baggage here because I'm not bringing mine. And that's how I feel about voting. No. Just because you're cute and, you got a nice big butt and all that kind of stuff. And nice. No. And I know this sounds strange, but what attracts me is your heart. I can go on Backpage and get a breast and a butt action. I can go anywhere to get that. I go Hunts Point in the Bronx get that. Nah, man, I'm of much value than that. I learned to put value in myself that I can't go down that road. If I did, I'd probably have 100 babies around here. No. You're going to have to court me. I'm going to have to court you. You're going to earn this vote. And you better get to earning right now, because your biggest mistake is to assume that you're going to get it.